Welcome to episode 129 of The Bar is Ankle High, your favorite ADHD podcast that explores life's low bars with wit and wisdom. My name is Katie.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm also Katie.
Today we are joined by Katy Ralineau.
Oh, close. It's a tough one. It's Ralineau.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really lean into every vowel in that name.
All the vowels. I usually am just like, it's a lot of vowels. Brace yourself.
Can you say it one more time, actually?
Yes, it's Ralineau. So you pronounce like almost every single vowel.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So Katy Ralineau, who is the owner of the Threads and Instagram handle Havoc and Healing, and owns the Havoc and Healing therapy practice based out of Texas. Whose chicken made that noise? Was that yours, Garrett, or?
Okay,
I actually was thinking the same thing. So,
but
and then I thought maybe it's just me and nobody else heard it, so I didn't want to say anything.
No, that's George. Probably he is right outside of my window, and he likes to hang out there. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that's probably my chicken.
I mean, it really was a question mark though, because Garrett also has chickens, and although I feel like Wanda has gotten a little bit more.
There's a lot more crowing in the morning. We used to have we had 2 roosters for a minute, and that was horrible. So it was just very noisy, and apparently the people that lived here before us were rescuing. They had like a bachelor flock. And we're rescuing roosters, so they had like 16 at one point, which I would rather hurl myself into traffic than have 16 roosters. Personally.
No, they're we like this one, but I don't have a good track record with roosters as a whole. They're not typically my friends.
No, and I mean, the last one we had, when we had 2, I had to walk into the chicken run with a broom because he was a bastard. He was such a bastard.
Okay, this is a brief sidebar tangent, and my mom would probably be horrified that I'm telling this story. But
that's the only stories we tell.
Yeah. My sweet ADHD mother. We had a rooster as a child that literally it would attack me when I went out to do like barn chores. I grew up in a rural area, by the way, if I'm not catching on there. But and so it would attack me, and my mom went out one time with a broom because that's what you got to be equipped. You got to have a long limb, and it came after her, and she hit it, and then ran away, and it died. So we give her shit.
That's what he gets.
Day.
Yes.
I was gonna say he belongs in soup. I mean, like ours really. He did go. Somebody took him that was looking for a rooster, but it was truly like you also deserve soup. So
I mean, that person also took that rooster during soup season, so we don't actually know the outcome of that rooster's story.
I mean, either way, honestly, I would love for him to be just a happy, like not obnoxious guy somewhere. But if not, soup served him well.
Yeah, not against threatening soup if they are, especially with a toddler around too. Like I have a little toddler, and I'm like, it just scares the crap out of me because they're just like the same size.
Yeah, they're like eye level. Like I really, our rooster we've had for he's got to be like almost 2, and has just been like a great rooster, like sweet and laid back, and does it like a good job. But I also just never fully trust him.
No.
So anytime my daughter's out there, I'm like, all right, we give everybody space, right? Give the chicken space. Because they're like the same height.
Yeah. No.
I also thought that Wanda was a girl when you first
for a
got
long
her,
time.
So
yeah. Really, until we had the 2. You couldn't really tell.
We got 6 chicks, and 5 of them ended up as roosters. So we had to rehome.
Oh my God. That happened to a friend of mine. She hatched a dozen, and she wound up with 10 roosters and 2 hens. And I was like, again, I might hurl myself into traffic because that just sounds like a complete nightmare.
Yeah. Luckily, we got rid of them all before they got too up in their rooster personalities. So
it's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
So for you chicken people, do obviously we have some selective breeding when it comes to hens for their egg production to eat eggs, but naturally do chickens more often than not produce female chicks, or is it still like
I think it's still fully
50-50 thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's stupid considering how bad they are at living together.
They are.
It's fair.
You know what else is stupid? So like I'm planning and hopefully in the spring to get some guinea hens because we have really bad ticks.
They're not small. That's what I learned.
They also, she was thinking of quail instead of guinea hens.
Because guinea pigs are also small. So why wouldn't a guinea hen also be small?
Honestly, follow the logic. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And they can't actually sex them until they're like big. So like you just have to get them and just
because they have guinea weens.
Apparently you can only tell them apart by the way they cluck. But it's just one of those, I'm like, man, so then what if I end up with a boy and then suddenly have 100 of them walk up one day? Like, I can't take that chance. So anyway, those are wild.
But you do live on a busy road. You could just...
Apparently, they do that themselves. I was reading that people will joke their whole flock shares like one brain cell. And somebody said that they stopped getting guinea hens because they kept accidentally running them over in the driveway because the birds are just so these are things that I read about on the internet. Oh, my Google search history is
that's hilarious.
I always forget to use the incognito browser when I Google certain things.
I literally Googled the other day, we lost a hen. And we were trying to, you kind of have to do like a postmortem to figure out like what happened, how it was attacked and where and when. And I literally had to Google what eats a chicken's butt because I didn't know how else to search what I needed to search. So yeah, my Google history is weird.
Yeah. And especially like post having a child, your Google history gets real weird too.
So like what eats a chicken's butt sounds like something that like your child has asked you and you're like, I don't know, let's see. And
no, it was all me.
Then you have information.
That was just me Googling that.
And it was a weasel, which I didn't realize were big enough to eat. Because I guess when I think of weasels, I only think of ferrets. I don't think of a fish or cat or something. Yeah. So like
they can fit through a 1-inch gap.
No way. Like an octopus.
Which is everything. I'm like, that encompasses everything.
That's why it's impossible to not have mice in your house in the winter.
Yes.
Which, Katie, maybe you don't know. We're in New York. So we have real winters up here.
So I'm originally from Colorado, so I have experienced real winter, but I hate real winter, so I don't live in a real winter place anymore. But I'm like I should be Googling if there's weasels in Texas because I don't know that answer.
I know
there's
lot
probably
about
like an
now.
armadillo weasel.
Who knows? We do have an armadillo that hangs out in our front yard. He's pretty cool though.
That's fun. Are they
just watched a video of one the other day.
Are they considered like a pest species?
Probably. He digs a lot, but I think it's cute.
It's probably like a groundhog. Like do you guys have groundhogs?
Like I feel like we probably do. Like I'm thinking like prairie dogs. Like
there's like a really big one of those. It's almost like a beaver without a big flat tail,
without a
actually.
slapper.
Yeah, I feel like probably without a slapper. Yes. I don't know. I'm like now realizing how little I know about Texas wildlife. So
no, you're just catching a couple people with hyperfixations. That's what's happening.
Like I know we have deer. We've got a lot of deer, but
Garrett's got a couple of fox kits.
We do. Underneath one of our barns, we've got 3 babies right now.
It's like equally cute and terrifying for your chickens.
I know. I'm like, and we just had the weasel, but the foxes will eat the weasel. Yeah, I talked to a wildlife rehabilitator the other day, and I was like, while I've got you, can I also ask you about raccoons? She was like, oh, yeah, and she was like giving me tips, and I was like, what about groundhogs? Do you know anything about groundhogs?
Just running down the list.
Yeah, all of my issues that I have. Because all of those things are in barns, and I mean the groundhogs aren't dangerous to the chickens, but everything else is. And they
groundhogs are just dangerous to your feet because you're going to step in a hole and fuck
your
up
whole
your
leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a farmer who's growing here now and selling at farmers market. So I also need to make sure that like I'm protecting her ability to make money. So it's like, I want everything to be able to just live here and not eat my chickens.
Yeah, the Fox and the Hound really oversold the ability for everybody to get along.
For real.
Yes. Yes, they did. And Snow White, I have very high expectations of what is supposed to be happening outside.
There should be your house should be spotless. The fact that that bird shit everywhere when it got stuck in your living room is some nonsense. That's what
I still don't know how that happened.
Oh, we've had birds fly into our house before too, and it's always and then they panic, right? Because of course, and it's like, well, you know, you were the one who came in.
You sought this out. Yeah.
It's almost like I wish you could hit something hard enough to stun yourself so that I could just pick you up quickly and put you on the front steps. But I can't do that because I also don't have a giant barrel to put over you and then like slide cardboard under so that I can pick it up and take you outside.
No, I feel like I have this
huge net.
constant
which
battle.
Of course I have hanging around.
Yeah, right. No, I have a constant battle between like being a very deep, sincere animal lover, like that I just adore them all, and also being like, oh, you're destroying my livelihood in like a lot of different ways. Yes. Like, this is, when do we get to draw? We have a skunk that lives in our front yard too. And it's like, it's only a matter of time before that goes poorly as well. But he's so cute.
Do you have any dogs?
Not anymore. We did. And so that would have been really hard with that. But he was he was very old. So he didn't have skunk chasing days left in him at that point.
We both had a dog sprayed by a skunk recently. And it's
in the past, I wouldn't even say year. Yeah. But yeah, my dog took it to the face and specifically the mouth.
Yep. Same.
So then like we, 10:30 at night are trying to like rustle up the ingredients for a bath
because it's never at a convenient time of day.
Well, and I'm like, well, I technically have some hydrogen peroxide, but it's old, so probably just the water at this point. We can try, like, and then like she got into bed and I was like, okay, you don't smell horrific, like she didn't get like the smell on our bed, and then like she exhaled and I was like, oh girl.
Poor baby.
Why'd you eat its butt? Like, you ate its butt. You weaseled.
See? And then you were Googling.
That's what you
did. Attacks a skunk's butt?
My dumbass dog.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No, it is terrible. There's a special element. Like, kids bring their own chaos too, but animals just really bring this element of chaos that is like...
Next level.
It's like one eye open all the time.
Yeah. That's how I feel when we have to take the cats to because I have 3 cats and I try to have them all go to the vet at the same time because generally once one of them sees the others getting into a crate of some kind, they go into hiding, which then requires first that I herd all of the cats into this room and then try to climb under the furniture to get them. And inevitably, there's holes in my clothing afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that feels unsurprising.
Yeah. It's just so ridiculous. Like, and then they, like, when I last took them to the vet, they all hid in the vet's sink in the exam room. So they were all like cats that hate each other and do not snuggle ever, were like piled up like a little pull apart bread. It was really sad. I was like, you guys, nothing ever happens to you here.
Also there's times I'm like, why? It's like the chickens and ducks uniformly. If I try and touch one of them, it's a like fight or flight and we're flying. Like,
which is pretty nuts considering you're the one who raised them and not your spouse. Yeah. Because your husband hates birds.
Hates them.
Famously.
Yet now has to help take care of them.
So funny.
Help take care of them, and also like we have to go out and do a post-mortem because one of them is dead. And ADHD and pregnancy brain. We were outside trying to like, okay, let's piece together like what happened here. And he had moved the bird and we are so into this like little mini investigation we're doing. I turn around and I see it and I was like, oh, there's a second one. He was like, no, that's the one we're investigating right now. I was like,
so you were like Mr. Magoo or
yes.
Leslie Nielsen in The Naked Gun.
Yes.
Oh,
it was
so
really
good. So good.
Magoo was a good way to put what was happening out there. The only thing I was missing was the really thick glasses.
And yeah, so Katie, since you don't know, because the episode hasn't come out yet, Garrett is expecting again.
Yeah.
So
Congrats.
she's about,
thank you.
When
Almost
this comes
halfway.
out, you'll be almost due. Really?
Yeah, because I'm
Right.
like halfway right now.
7 months.
Oh, yeah. So I was wondering if that was like a reference to long ago or recently. I was like,
Oh,
I can't
no.
follow,
It's like
but-
yesterday.
Yeah. No, the ADHD and pregnancy brain combo is absolutely brutal. It's brutal.
It's bad.
What was your
Actually,
experience with
yeah.
that?
Brutal. I mean,
Speaking from experience.
yeah, speaking from experience. Yeah, I just remember, you know, and I laugh about it now, but there were some things that I said, like, especially as a therapist, of like, my job is to literally talk to people. And when the words aren't forming, I remember one time I was talking to somebody about extending an olive branch, a very normal phrase, used it many times. And I just sat there and I go, you know, the dove branch. and then I'm sitting there and they're staring at me like, what are you talking about? She's like, you know, olive branch? I was like, yeah, I think I just got my symbols mixed up for a moment there. Like,
there were metaphors. You knew where I was going with it. Okay.
Yeah. So like, that was like such a difficult part of it, of like, I'm supposed to have like in my mind, be this stability, be this person who's like an anchor and grounding. And I am like off stimulants, ungrounded, vibing, like just trying to figure it out. Especially in the first trimester, I was very ill, so ill every single day.
Yeah.
And so I'd be sitting there just like literally with like the shakes from how sick I felt, being like,
God.
I am stable.
And so tired that like there's
Yes.
no amount of sleep or rest that even touches it. Like it's like tired in your bones.
Yes.
And it is just I just read this article, not an article. Somebody was talking about a study that they did. And they were saying how like first pregnancy, they talk about how your brain like rewires and there are like structures that change. And they said that with the first pregnancy, it's a lot of like developing a deeper empathy and being able to like read emotions better and anticipate needs a little bit better. And they said, second baby, your brain
Second
is
baby, go fuck yourself.
your brain just stops working. That's what happens.
Oh, neat. Cool.
They said that your brain is doing more restructuring for like coordination and reflexes so that you can be better juggling more than one, which I was like, that is so fucking crazy that your brain can recognize the different sets of needs that are going to be coming.
Yeah,
I
that's
need
insane.
scientists to isolate whatever protein or enzyme or whatever is triggering that rewiring in your brain during pregnancy so that we can like synthesize it and just like real quick like EpiPen stab our partners who aren't going through pregnancy. Because that would be great.
Yeah, I would love
to
that.
like help them manage like reading emotions and juggling more than one need at a time.
Well, and I think that's the tough part of, especially with first baby, but like postpartum, is so much of that starts with you.
Yeah.
On like day one, as soon as you find out you're pregnant, it like everything changes.
Yes.
And for people who have a partner or a spouse who's also going to become a parent, that really doesn't start for them until the baby's born or maybe right before.
Yeah.
So you get this like frustration because you're like, man, I've been doing this shit for almost a year.
Mhm.
And what do you mean you're just figuring it out now? And they go through their own rewire, but it's so late.
Yes. Well, and I think there's
So late.
so much like identity shifting,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
especially for neurodiverse parents, right? Who typically, especially late diagnosis, because oftentimes, particularly women, are not diagnosed until like either college or motherhood are like two big areas where folks get
Yeah.
diagnosed because it's a huge transitionary time.
Or when their kids get diagnosed.
That, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're like, where did the neurodiverse apple fall from? Oh, this neurodiverse tree.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. But motherhood is particularly interesting in that way because a lot of times we have so many systems that we have just figured out how to be okay, right? Like we set a bunch of timers, we have alarms, we have these different mechanisms that we do to keep us functioning. And then motherhood comes and our body and brain just blows up in this huge change.
It's like totally starting over.
Yeah. And so this loss of identity for one is like, who am I? What am I doing? But you already don't have a stable identity as a late diagnosed neurodiverse person anyways, because a lot of your life has probably been spent masking. So the identity blow up it's a lot.
It is. It's really wild. And I don't know if this is how your experience has been, but like I was just saying to Katie the other.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
That I almost feel like even if I could be taking something for my ADHD at this stage, there would be no point because I don't have the time. I get interrupted so often. It wouldn't matter if I had ADHD or not. I wouldn't be focusing on shit. So I've just decided we're just going to ride the chaos wave because there's nothing I can do.
Which is like, I mean, like half of the battle in ADHD anyways is just like being okay with the chaos. Like you mentioned raccoons earlier. That's my logo, is a raccoon. It's literally my business logo, a raccoon with a little dandelion. It's a vibe. But because if you are expecting calm and you have an ADHD brain, that's just not a fair expectation on yourself.
Yeah,
it's
totally. Yeah. Or like perfect structure that doesn't take a lot out of you to maintain if you're maintaining it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I do think also part of, and to be fair, obviously I was raised by a severely ADHD lady.
She's great, but
just violently ADHD. But
it's true.
Also feel like I was raised by somebody who also had systems to make things work.
Yes.
So the idea that whatever the prescribed way to do something was, like, I feel like I already had that built in that like that doesn't apply to me. Like I can just do what makes it work and get it done faster or whatever, just do it my way and it's going to be perfectly fine.
Figure outable.
Yeah. Like as long as you're crossing that finish line, it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But like having and I again, like, my mom would for sure not have described that as masking when she was like at work or in like other settings, but certainly at home, there was no masking for anybody in our house.
And in fairness, she still wouldn't describe it that way.
No, she wouldn't. But I think it's definitely something that we've talked about on the show before, but like the idea of those triggering events that caused us to get a diagnosis later in life, because whatever it was no longer working for us. Like, for me, I was in 2018. I was the victim of intimate partner violence. And I think between dealing with that and the anxiety and PTSD that I had to deal with from that made it so that whatever masking I was doing as an attorney was no longer working. So then I was like, well, let me look into this and got a diagnosis. Garrett was working somewhere that she hated. So
I had a really toxic job that it was like, oh, I went to a therapist who was like, oh, you feel that way because you have ADHD. And I was like,
and you're like, sorry, what?
What? No, I don't. No, I'm here for anxiety.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting what I feel like can trigger that initial, well, and also my diagnosis story is a weird one. So, cause I was misdiagnosed as a teen, cause that's when I was like really, I think when, the hormonal relationship with ADHD is also really wild. Yeah. So like as a teenager, I was like, okay, things aren't really vibing anymore, and was having like those, and the relationship with depression and ADHD is really significant too, right? So
Especially
got
at that
diagnosed.
age.
Got diagnosed, with the usuals of depression and this and that and all of this, and none of the medication was working. And finally they were like, let's try a stimulant. And I was like, cool, all right, this is just protocol for depressed teens, I suppose. And then I requested my records like years later as an adult, and got my records. It was like ADHD. And I was like, I didn't even know I had that. Cool. Had no clue that was a diagnosis that was listed.
I bet that happens to men all the time.
Probably. But was like, what do I do with this information now? And knowing that a stimulant has been working for me, but thought it was like to fix my depression. So then I went down a whole rabbit hole there. But it was a very weird way of getting diagnosed.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
The whole time?
Truly.
Yeah. It's like,
what the hell?
How long did you know and not tell me?
Think of it a different way. Like, what if you had if you had been diagnosed with sickle cell and nobody mentioned it to you, and they were like, oh, well, we'll just do some iron infusions or like whatever, try this supplement. And then like years later, you find out that like, oh, the reason those didn't work is because I needed like very specialized care and treatment, and not just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's
anyway.
So I get really passionate about misdiagnosis and like proper care, because it's like, that probably would have been really helpful to know earlier on in my life.
And even then, I mean, we didn't even, I feel like maybe I'm speaking for both of us, I feel like we didn't even know about ADHD until we did this podcast and actually started like researching things in depth. And it was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you mean? Nobody ever told me that.
I mean, even just the other day, somebody was like, oh yeah, so if I start meds, I'll be able to focus better. And I was like, stop it right there. That is not what this is about.
I mean, potentially, but not on what you want to, maybe.
And that's like, tell people it's not magical. Like, I took my meds the other day and then like reorganized my whole desk. And that is not what I intended to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's not magical, but it helps you regulate, because it's a regulation issue.
Right.
Not a focus issue.
Which I think like that was one of the first like big revelations that we had doing this was, oh, you can focus, just you don't really get to control what you're focusing on.
Right.
Like, whatever your brain dictates, or time, whatever it is, circumstances dictate.
Right. And it being like a reward center thing. Like that was like such a light bulb moment, especially when I was a teenager. My mom would like always get on my case, but like I'd pick at my face incessantly. And clearly there was like a reward center connection with that, because potentially if I ripped into my face hard enough, I could get a result. But like it was like maybe 6 weeks after I started being medicated for ADHD that like my mom was like, oh, your skin looks great. And I was 34 fucking years old. And was still picking at my face. Yeah. And it was only after I took this medicine that I was like, oh, I actually don't get caught up. Like if I have a little bit of a blackhead or like a small little pimple, I'm not sitting there digging at it for hours, because I focus on that instead of anything else. I can just wash my face and go to bed and not have it be a thing.
Or a stim.
Right, exactly. And like, it's just one of those things where there's like so many little things that when it comes to those regulating factors of your life, like that, or even the whole fight or flight thing with like the way that we're able to process an emergency versus a non-emergency, and kind of how nothing is an emergency.
Yes. Yeah. I think about that a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's just those little things where it's like, oh, this is like a brain chemistry issue and like a biological structure issue in my brain. And it has nothing to do with like, defective parenting by my parents, or like defective schooling, or whatever I could be possibly trying to control right now. It's just kind of how I was built. So it helped remove a lot of the, I think probably the justification for masking, I would think. By learning about it when we were doing this show.
And the shame, feeling like, I mean, logically, I can understand it's ADHD, but there's also that component of it where I'm like, man, you're such a piece of shit sometimes. Why can't you just So I think this really helped me kind of unpack that. Yes. It really helped us unpack that.
Such the spot that I find myself, both as an individual in therapy and as a therapist, right, is like that overlap between ADHD. And I truly believe that anybody that is diagnosed, especially late diagnosed ADHD, has their own trauma from existing in the world with ADHD and not knowing it. Right. And even people who do know it, like you guys said, it's like you get the diagnosis and nobody is like, here's your handbook for how this impacts you.
Yeah.
Here's what this actually means. Here are some behaviors that might be ADHD related. Like nobody walks you through that. And as I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, should I make an ADHD handbook? Probably.
I mean, frankly, especially for people assigned female at birth, because they can't tell us anything. Like when Garrett did that like 4-part series on hormones, I was like blown away in the worst way.
Yeah. There's been so many times we've just been so like you're almost hurt.
It was so sad.
Like it's just that thing of like, and then, you know, you hear the stories online with people when they hit like perimenopause or menopause, and then their symptoms either get exorbitantly worse or they get better. But either way, they're at least the same fucking symptoms every day. You're not dealing with this weird 28-day cycle that we're on. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe you're on a longer cycle, maybe you're on a shorter one.
Right.
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
What's average? Great question.
Truly. And then I saw a post on Reddit once, which I think it was like the ADHD women sub. But either way, somebody was saying how they discussed with their prescriber the difference in efficacy during their luteal phase, and had their prescriber write them a script for 45 pills per month instead of 30, so that during that time they would be able to like bump up their dose and still have the same effects of the medication, because it's so like, and again, like the fact that it like affects your brain, I think is the part that like blows my mind. Like, why does it have to affect my brain and my uterus? Like, I don't know, like my boobs
I have to
get
feel
sore
like shit and my brain doesn't work.
Yes. Truly unfair.
Like,
that one.
Why? Pick one. Pick a lane. You don't get to affect everything.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where, like, again, like having to come up with these workarounds through trial and error. Like, the internet is a real weird place most of the time, but it can be really helpful. And I think being able to like have those communities where you can bounce ideas off of other folks is great, whether it's like looking for the best way to repair an issue on your car or trying to figure out what the hell is going on with your brain when you're menstruating.
Yeah, which is honestly wild too, because like as somebody who has worked in the mental health field now for over a decade, and I'm still learning new things on the regular, is like there is just so much that we are still learning and still don't know, that it's like I pop onto social media and I'm like, wait, what the heck? This is a thing? Like I thought I had it under control here. And I think in, you know, pregnancy and postpartum and having that firsthand experience, you just they're like, okay, here is a whole new set of things that I get to learn about how ADHD intersects with all of these things.
Mm-hmm. So. Yes. And I think too, like, I know in that postpartum period, I increased my antidepressant when I was in the hospital after delivery. So, I don't think my depressive and anxiety feelings were as bad as they would have been otherwise. So it wasn't something I felt like I really struggled with more than like probably the average person, because it's just a time anyway. But I think it's so easy also in a period where you're so raw and sleep deprived, so your brain isn't really working well anyway. Mm-hmm. It would be very easy to like fall down like rabbit holes and get very anxious and hyper focused on things like, oh my God, I was convinced one time that my baby's poop was blue and she ate blueberries. Like that's it. She was fine.
I used to,
but I definitely was like, oh my God. You don't say. What color?
I say that because my mom would find the different colored crayons in my diaper. But anyway.
So funny.
There's things as like a parent to young kids that it's like, I should never have to say this out loud. Like I had to tell my daughter she couldn't put pasta in her pocket
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I never thought I was going to say those words in that combination ever. And here I am.
You know, I used to work in residential treatment, so I feel like I've already said like a really wild amount of things. Like, hey, please don't throw that fire extinguisher at me. Please don't. That kind of shit where it's like, oh,
catch a bubble, friend.
Yeah.
We're just going to put that in a bubble and blow it away.
Yeah.
Although my toddler now, because they're really rational, will say, mama, walk away. And then I found myself the other day going, no, you walk away. You're not being kind. And that's when you have to stop. Like, she's not even 3.
Count to 10. Yeah.
You know, they find ways to get under your skin, though. It's wild.
Yeah. Really effective at that.
Yeah.
The miracle of life.
And I think now, preparing to do it again, you're worried about a completely different set of circumstances. And I'm like, oh, but now I know how bad it is. That makes it even worse. But I did. I'm very fortunate that my health insurance does a reimbursement for doula services. Ooh. So I'm going to get a postpartum doula for like 6 weeks.
That's what I tell people now. I'm like, if I could go back and do things over again, it'd probably be a postpartum doula for sure.
I'm so relieved.
Like that, especially because that period of time, like you said, the low sleep, it's going to be hard on anybody.
Oh yeah.
Neurodiversity or not. Mm-hmm. But man, my biggest thing was like the postpartum like rage, like the irritability and rage and the anger that I would feel for literally no reason. Like it would just be the smallest thing. And I'd be like, time to divorce my husband, pack up the bags, time to leave. And
I knew I hated him. I knew it. Yeah. I knew this whole time.
And it would be and then I'd like the next day would come and I'd be like, wow, that was wild.
Maybe I just needed to sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Sleep, eat, have a moment. Like
What about just a nice hot shower without, baby vomit on you? Because I did get a selfie from Garrett at like 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, that was so rough. Oh, it was so rough. I had a C-section with my first. I'm gonna have a C-section, but it'll be scheduled this time. And was also trying to breastfeed, which I was having a lot of issues with that. And didn't really get to meet with lactation. So it was just kind of like you're on your own.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was, she had woken up and we went through all the things and she was like ready to go back down. And I'm like, just doing a last burp. And she vomited down the front of my clothes. And
it was like a cami tank top, so it just had a little pocket to catch everything.
Yeah, it just like held a puddle of. And so I also had those silverette things on my nipples. So it was just like I sent Katie this selfie, and it's like my hair is like greasy and like pasted to my head, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't like slept in 3 weeks, and I just have like a pool of vomit stuck in my bra, and these things on my nip. It was just like. It was like postpartum in a nutshell.
Yeah, I was about to say that feels like an accurate, just quintessential motherhood, right?
Yes. I feel like there were several points during that first postpartum period where you were very grateful that you had remodeled your house to have that downstairs bathroom.
Yeah, we added
with
a bathroom.
The walk-in shower.
And it was like, especially after a C-section, not having to go, which... Our house, we moved, and our house now has so many stairs. And I'm like, I'll just stay up here for a while.
I don't like stairs on a good day. Like I'm not.
I will say, I will change my whole outfit for work if it means I have to go back upstairs and find a different shirt or pair of pants to wear. Can't be that important.
Yes. It was it was rough last time. So I'm like, there's a lot more stairs.
Yeah. I'm also chronically ill. So it's like, and which is really common comorbidity with ADHD, autism neurodiversity is chronic illness in general, depending on which one. So Stairs and I are just not friends. Like when we got our house here, I was like, I really want a ranch style house. Like I just know Stairs and I, we don't totally do well together. So let's just stick with flat surfaces.
Oh yeah. I carried a load of laundry up before we recorded, and it took me a good 5 minutes of recovery at this stage of pregnancy. I just laid over the top of it for a while, like.
You know, you should get one of those like grocery carts that have like the triangle wheels that go upstairs that people in the cities use.
You know what? That's a really good idea. I should do that for laundry.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. I've seen them like every once in a while. It'll like come up on you might also like on Amazon for some reason. But yeah, I saw one recently. I was like watching a clip or something, and it was like interviewing somebody in New York City, and I was like, oh, it's one of those things.
I get the ads for that.
It's like 3 wheels on like this, it looks like a fidget spinner basically. But it has like 3 separate wheels, and then it's like
they have furniture
dollies
like
put
that
it against too. Like if you put it against a step, the higher up wheel will pick it up.
Oh, that's
and
so
then they
cool.
reverse slinky basically.
Oh yeah. And then I'll like roll right up the stairs. That's a good idea.
It's just the sort of thing where it's like, damn, I wish I'd thought of it. Have so much money.
I wish I was.
I wouldn't have money. I would have bought so many random trinkets.
I mean, isn't the wild thing though? Because earlier, as I'm going, I should make an ADHD handbook, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. With what time?
Right. With what time? I
certainly not with complete thoughts.
No, and I have so many different side projects already going, and think that I need to start a podcast like every other week, and I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have time for that.
It's a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, truly. Well, because this is the second time I was on another podcast talking about ADHD and hyperfixations and my own, which is horses. I am obsessed with horses. And I was like, this is so great. This is so fun. And I was like, no, I like being a guest on podcasts. This is fun.
That's fair.
I don't have to organize it. I can show up, talk about things, and then be done. I don't have to have the organizational piece behind it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is a lot. I was definitely one of those things we just yeeted ourselves right into. There was no...
I love it.
Real.
I love it. Y'all are a hoot too. I was laughing my butt off listening to some of your stuff. It was killing me.
We entertain ourselves at least.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
We do have fun.
We do.
And it's worth it, right?
Although I do routinely think about the bad review that we got that said there was too much laughing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that one's fun. That one.
Rude.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, okay.
I hope that person
go laugh
is
less.
Still angry about it.
Me too. I also hope so.
They hold it with them.
I hope every new episode gets recommended to them and they get annoyed every time.
Oh, that's good.
That we're like glitter in their podcast.
And you also specialize in EMDR therapy as well, right?
I do. So my kind of
Is it EMDR or
it is.
EDMR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the EDMR is a funny one because that's just electric dance music with an R at the end.
Right.
So we have a hoot with that in the EMDR community where people will come in. I did have somebody say one time, can I do that like BDSM therapy? And I was like, I think you might be mixing up your letters here for a moment.
Oh, you know what? The chick in 50 Shades got a lot out of it. She really learned how to
no hate whatsoever.
Herself.
And I am not going to be providing that type of service to my client.
I would love to know how many times
though.
You could.
You could charge way higher rates.
There's a lot of times where we say we don't kink shame on this podcast, and it's never in reference to what it's supposed to be.
No.
Right.
It's always in reference to something else.
But no, I do EMDR. I almost said EDMR. You got me all messed up now.
I called it MDMA therapy. So.
Yes.
Also a thing, kind of. So,
yeah.
We got all sorts of psychedelic and ketamine and all that, but I don't dabble in that. I am EMDR trained. I also do IFS as well. So those are two of my kind of like favorite places to come from. And then I specialize in both trauma and ADHD because I don't think you can treat one without knowing about the other. Is kind of my premise there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would agree. So how long have you been kind of specializing in that type of work?
So let's see. I mean, I started like before I even got my master's degree, I was working in a treatment center and I was specializing in a dual diagnosis kind of classroom. So I was working with kiddos that either had developmental disability, autism, ADHD was a common one in that room too, as well as like some type of trauma history. And so that is where I kind of got my start and was like, this is the vibe. I want to do this. Working with kids is great. got my master's degree and started working with kids again. And then I was like, you know what? I hate working with kids. Which is quite the turn of events. But I think part of it, and so this is where I found myself, right, is I'm like, okay, I've worked with ADHD kids for as long as I can remember, ADHD and autism kiddos, as long as I can remember. And the more and more I worked with them and the more I started to do family work, and I was like, oh, this is where it's at, right? Like kids have so little autonomy in their lives so that I can do some work and I can do some basically harm reduction style therapy. But I'm not changing a system. I'm just like keeping a Band-Aid on what's happening in this kid's life. So then once I like realized that that was where I was at, I moved to working with parents of kids with ADHD and autism. And that has just really felt like my niche. That, and I do love working with like upper high school, college age kids. Again, it's like those two transitionary periods of becoming a parent, going to college, that these are like, yeah, such identity turmoil that that's just where I found myself gravitating, was these two bunches of humans, and started focusing in on that, and always had a special interest in trauma and ADHD, being a person who has both of those things. So it just kind of fell into place, and opened my own practice when I had my kiddo because I wanted the flexibility, and here we are.
That's amazing.
So if anyone listening is interested in your services, do they have to be living in Texas?
They do. It's a bummer. Like there is this, we have so many weird rules about locations as therapists, but I do provide virtual services in all of Texas, no matter where you are in Texas. I'm virtual only because that just works better for me currently. And yeah, people can find my information either at my social media handles that you mentioned earlier or at havocandhealing.org.
And we will tag those in our episode description, folks. So if you're not sure or whatever, you can just pull up the episode description and it'll have the actual spelling and everything linked there for you as well. But yeah, it's been great having you here. I'm so glad I found you on Threads talking about a dating experience.
Okay, I was wondering, I was like, how did they find me? Because I am fairly active on Threads, and I was like, and it was through the Tinder story, wasn't it?
We laughed very hard about that this morning.
There was, for folks who aren't on Threads, which I feel like you're missing out. It's a good time over there.
It's the Wild West.
There's some wild stories. Are you following the Gary, your wife is looking for you story by chance?
No.
No, I got really into this life coach thing, and I just got blocked by him, and I feel kind of like my meaning has been taken away from me on Threads. He didn't like the questions that I was asking, so he blocked me, and it's really devastating.
Well, we got a bunch of emails from some clown who called himself a party coach, if you want.
A coach.
The next level of life coach grifting.
And I think the subject line was something like, "Can we save the world with partying?" No.
Yeah, this feels in line with who I was arguing with. This one was like, heal your trauma in my 18-month program, just $50 a month. And I was like, tell me more about your program there, buddy. I want to know.
18 months. Ugh.
Yeah.
Also maybe I'm just like every so often I'm like, ooh, I do have commitment issues. But then I'm like, 18 months. Like, you want me to think about where I'm going to be in a year and a half?
No.
Yeah.
And assume like it's not a car payment. Like,
yeah.
Well, that's a long commitment.
His whole thing too is like, in 2 weeks you will feel better, and I was like, that's just mean. You
2 weeks or 18
promise
months
that to people.
Well, right. So if I feel better in 2 weeks, then why do I need the rest, the 17 and a half months after that to pay
Correct.
you? Like, which is it, pal?
So
anyway. Yeah, no. Apparently, the Gary saga is this woman was like minding her business at her apartment complex, and her next door neighbor, or a woman showed up in the parking lot of their apartment complex, was yelling, saying, you know, "Where's my husband? That's his truck. I know he's here." And it was the next door neighbor of this woman who was like relaying the saga.
Oh man.
And so the side piece like also got onto the OP's case, like saying like like started like yelling at her and was like, mind your business. You look like you don't even pay your light bill. And she was like, what the fuck does that mean? She's like, it's such a specific insult. What are you talking about? And so it was just a very like interestingly told story, but apparently, at least as far as like this morning when I checked, Gary's truck is still there. Nobody has seen Gary.
It turned out Gary gets murdered.
Well, so it came out. So there's like a cast of characters now. So there's like the new neighbor that lives above the OP, I think, or above the side piece. I'm not sure. And then there's another neighbor that lives like across the parking lot and can see into the side piece's apartment. But the new neighbor mentioned to our reporter that about a month ago, a guy came out of the side piece's apartment holding his stomach. Her husband, like, started knocking on their door. Her husband answered the door and was like, we got to call an ambulance. And the guy wouldn't let him call an ambulance, doesn't know where he went. Like, apparently did not get into the truck that we know is Gary's truck now, but it is kind of a question of who that guy was. Was it Gary?
Oh my God.
Or was it a different, like, was it the side piece's side piece? And because now nobody's seen Gary, we don't know if Gary is alive.
Oh my God.
So it is a little bit of a saga. I'm assuming Gary's alive.
Okay, well now I gotta get on Threads again.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. Some of the like stories that progress, like I followed Parking Lot Girl. Did you see that one?
No.
This woman is in line at the grocery store and accidentally gets in the middle of this couple's dispute where it turns out he was cheating on his wife with their dentist.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. Yeah, because they were like in the line at the grocery store and the wife starts reading out like messages and asks the parking lot girl, like, well, like, what do you think? And she was like, well, that doesn't sound dental.
Dental.
So that
it was very funny.
Now, if you see a comment on Threads on something and it says, well, that doesn't sound dental, it's a reference to
Parking
that
Lot
story.
Girl. Yeah.
Which apparently people were saying that it was a made up story to sell.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Entertaining. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I mean,
it was free entertainment. Yes. I do not care.
Yeah, the wild part though is like I joined and I had just started doing my social media in like January. Like I am not many months into doing social media as a therapist. And so I'm just like posting stuff that is like very therapy related. And then I post this Tinder story from years ago and it blows up. And I'm sitting here going, oh dear God, what have I done? Like, this is my therapist page. And now it's blowing up with this story about a Tinder experience. I was horrified.
See, I would be delighted to find a post by my therapist, like admitting this. So, I mean, do you want to tell the story or?
Oh, I absolutely can. I mean, it's good. It's a good one.
I snort laughed this morning when Katie.
I went down a rabbit hole of trying to find the screenshots from me. But this was, I mean, I have been with my partner now for 10 years. Like this was a very long time ago. This was like in the early days of Tinder. So at some point in time, I think I just got so over it. And, you know, ADHD, impulsivity, dopamine seeking probably all really played into this. And I got onto my Tinder and I changed all of the pictures to like, I had a little Yorkie at the time and it was this just deranged looking Yorkie. Like it wasn't one of those cute prim proper ones. It was like a little off the rails. Changed all of the pictures on my Tinder to pictures of my dog, like changed the bio to like wolf and everything. And then people would like match with me and I would only respond in woofs and barks.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's real
That's
solid
chaotic
time.
Good.
Yeah, there was one person who did get like legitimately like confused, angry, and I still remember this is what I was trying to find the screenshot of forever ago because he was just like, I did not match with a dog.
Looks like you did.
You will not fool me.
Which of course I
dogs
sent, like,
can't use internet.
Woofs back at him to that.
Growling at him.
Right.
Oh man, they deserve it. That's great.
It was a good time.
I had one guy, it was right before I met my now husband, or a few months before anyway, but he like, it was like at the point when you could like specifically reply to somebody's photo as like your first message to them. And his comment to me was, well, you're a big old girl. And he looked in his picture like the gamer basement dweller guy from South Park.
You look like Ron Jeremy. Just gross.
But I'm willing to bet that he had an innie instead of a Ron Jeremy situation. So.
Yeah. That was just a gross time. And Tinder's a wild place.
Yeah.
Katie did one time get ghosted by somebody that you think you went on a few dates. And there was a group of us that were sitting in an area that all had different area codes. So I was like, well, Cardi B tickets had just gone on sale locally for like a Cardi B concert that was coming up. So we all started texting his number and being like, hey, I saw those Cardi B tickets you had listed on like Facebook Marketplace or like Craigslist or something. He didn't think it was funny.
Yeah,
we thought it was
weird. He didn't call me
funny.
back. It was really bizarh.
I loved it.
I feel like such the quintessential like experience of being like, I'm hilarious, and then being like,
yes,
no.
We were like, this
but
is
also,
the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, like I have no regrets for wasting any of these men's times. Like
or
that
being
one guy
annoying.
Like conversely, there was the guy who like went berserk on me.
He sure did.
Like we went on like 2.5 dates, not really even anything.
Yeah.
And there was like something about him. It was just like a smidge off-putting, almost like almost American Psycho vibes. Like just very
like smiling a little too hard in a picture.
Yes.
Like, ooh, is there a little bit of there's a twist under there?
Yes. And there was just something. And so I like said something to him to the effect, it was actually right before I matched with my husband, but I said something like, hey, I just don't know that we're in the same place. So I don't think it's going to work out. And Katie, he went off the deep
rails,
end.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. You're some bullshit. Like, you're just laughing at me with your friends, blah, 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 blah.
Like, well, we are now.
Yeah, right. And so I just like stopped responding, but I didn't block his number because he kept texting me and he was like saying all this shit. And then I'd like, of course, send the screenshots to Garrett. And one of the messages was like, why are you ignoring me? And so Garrett sent it back with all the other messages circled in red.
That were just like so
arrows.
Like abusive language.
Yeah.
And then he texted me the next morning, good morning, beautiful. And I was like,
psycho.
What?
Psycho. But there was that also
deranged.
that guy.
He texted me for like 3 days.
Wow.
But there was also that one with the strip club on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, there was that guy. He like he wanted to go. First of all, we went to like a house party in downtown Albany with like college kids, and we were like 30. I was 30. He was like 36. And I was like, okay,
truly
like
can't catch me.
I don't know. Like I did this in law school. So like whatever. And then on the way home, we're like Ubering and he's like, oh, we'll just go to the strip club. And I was like, I do not want to go to a strip club. And it was myself, him, and his friend from work who he's probably fucking, frankly.
He was also living with him.
Yeah, there was something weird there.
It was weird.
But he's like, yeah, we'll go to the strip club. And I was like, but I don't want to. Like, it's really fucking weird to go to a strip club at 2 a.m. on New Year's Eve day. Like,
yeah,
like it's weird. And he was like, no, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I don't want to. Like, that is not fun to me. I do not like going to strip clubs, like flat out.
Also, so, I'm tired. I want to go.
The poor Uber driver is like, great. And my phone's about to die. The Uber driver doesn't have an iPhone plug-in thing. And the Uber was ordered through my phone. So we have to drop him off and then go back to his place to drop me off because also, P.S., I didn't have my wallet with me. So I couldn't have gone to the strip club anyway because I couldn't show ID. So like all these things, he goes to the strip club, eventually comes home, whatever. But I couldn't leave because he had my car keys in his pocket for whatever reason. I think I like gave them to him to hold or something.
Because men have pockets and we don't. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I like had texted him and I was like, you need to get the fuck home so I can leave. Like, you have my car keys. Get back here and give me my keys. I don't care where the fuck you end up, but like at least drop them. And so he dropped them off, and I sent him a Venmo for the cost of the Uber, which was like $250.
Yeah.
And he denied it.
Uh-huh. And then you did again too, like at a later date, and he still denied it.
Yeah. And then he like texted me randomly, and I was like sent me a link to something, and I was like, what am I supposed to get out of this? And it was like a year later. Like, it was not recent.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I just thought that you would, get a kick out of it. And I was like,
you know how to get a kick out of? You pay me $250.
Yeah.
Right.
Pay me the money you owe me.
Yeah.
Like, truly. So yeah, I do think about him from time to time, and wonder if like his dick's fallen off from like some sort of STI or whatever.
We can only hope.
Yeah. I mean, it's times like these that make me so grateful I'm in a long-term committed relationship.
Oh, I've told my husband, like, if this doesn't work out, that's it for me. I'm just going to move in with Garrett at the farm.
Yeah.
Chase chickens.
Scary out there.
Game over.
Yes. Not a chance. Not a chance.
But yeah, so that's how I found Havoc and Healing on Threads was the Tinder
We laughed very hard about that this morning. It's just so good. I was like, that's for sure something we would have done.
Yeah, I love that is people's introduction to me too at this point in time. Is they're like, she's a therapist?
Yeah.
Great. I'm here for it.
If it's any consolation, I think people only have weird introductions to us. So
yeah, fair. So, I mean, the first episode that I clicked on was the medical grade ping pong balls, and I was like, like, I need to know what this is referring to.
Fair enough, yeah.
And then I started listening, and I like immediately was like, no, this is good. We're good. Let's chat. This is a vibe.
I also then like completely forget what the reference was until I go back and listen. I'm like, oh yeah.
That's what ADHD, we don't have solid short-term working memory. We don't hold those things, but you will remember song lyrics from the 90s. So there you go.
Honestly.
Yeah, one of my cousins texted me once and was like, what was the episode that you talked about essential oils? And so I was like, fuck, I don't know. And so I had to like go back through and like ballpark what the episode name was and then try to like find it in the description. And then for whatever reason, that episode description doesn't mention that we're talking. It's like part 2 of blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ooh, yeah. I don't know. Was it part 1 or part 2? Here's my guess. But that was, I did eventually get her the answer, but it was like a week later. And she was like, I don't need this information anymore.
Just like, thanks, but no thanks.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
No problem.
It's like being a therapist and being like, I really took to heart what you said last week. And I was like, what did I say last week? What did I say last week?
I'm so glad.
Good.
Because the Dove branch.
The Dove branch has been extended. No,
yes.
I have no shame, y'all. I do. As a therapist, I have no shame. I'll be like, I'm going to be so honest. What did I tell you last week? Like, I have our topic, but I'm not remembering what I said exactly to you. So yeah, I have no shame. This is
0% chance.
Yeah.
0.0% chance of me ever remembering.
Yeah. My memory has been destroyed since 2018. So real question mark on if I'll remember something specific or not. I used to have a steel trap memory. And now it's only about certain things.
Yeah, because it's like impossible to hold all of the things that you would like to hold in your brain. Like you just simply do not have the capacity to do that.
Yeah. I would like an opportunity to like tell my brain which ones to stop holding.
Yeah. Like can I just like do some spring cleaning and like clear some of this out? Because I definitely don't need it.
Let him get sucked up by that vacuum in Riley's brain and inside out. And just
it would be lovely. That's how I often think like EMDR in that sense of like it does seem to make capacity for more pleasant feelings and memories. Like it doesn't erase, it doesn't vacuum things up, but it does seem to make better capacity for happier, more positive things.
I love that. Let me vacuum pack them.
Yeah. We're just gonna vacuum up your brain a little.
Yeah, I'm sure there's cobwebs in there. I don't ever clean, so
certainly. I think we only use like a very small percentage of our brain on a day-to-day basis anyways, so
yeah, that's what that Bradley Cooper movie was about.
I would argue that I probably use even less than that.
Sometimes
they're just fighting for a brain cell,
to be honest.
Depends on the day.
How much sleep I got. Am I sick for the 50th time this year because my child's in daycare?
Where am I at in my menstrual cycle?
There's so many factors. Did
I actually remember to take my ADHD meds today?
How was the weather?
Yeah.
Is the sun out?
Is the seam on my pants annoying?
Is my sleeve wet?
Is my sleeve wet?
Just with a toddler more often than not, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have avocado on my pants? Usually.
Why is this wet?
Yes.
That question.
Why am I sticky?
Oh, yeah. Why is that sticky? That's another like life question that we have right now.
This is the worst.
Yes. I would say newborn phase is more, why is this wet?
Yeah.
Is this
and then milk? Toddler is, why is this sticky?
Yes. Or where did you get that? That's the other question.
How did you find that? Please don't put that in your mouth.
Yes. Yes. That is definitely what the stage is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Love that.
Sounds magical. Can't wait.
It is. Yeah. It's very magical.
It's its own kind of magic.
Yes. With a lot of barf on it.
Things smell weird, but
Why does it smell like that? Yeah. That's another chapter of the book. What's that smell?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Katie.
On that note.
Yeah, it's been y'all. Great.
This is a great time. What's that smell? Thank you so much. We're going to be done now.
And that's a wrap.
No, truly. Thanks for inviting me on. It's been a blast.
Yeah, this was super fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
So one last time for folks who are interested in you and your work, is your website is havocandhealing.org, right?
Yes. And then on Instagram and Threads, it's at havoc.and spelled out AND.healing. That's what it is. I was about to continue and say the .org, and I was like, oh no, not my website handle. So
and if you're in Texas, you can absolutely reach out to Katie for an appointment or therapy. But if you're not in Texas, I wouldn't say move there right now, but maybe in the future.
I do intend to get licensed in Colorado because I'm there plenty. So just, look out for that if you're in Colorado. And eventually if they're doing like some pact thing that should expand licensure across states. But until then, just in good old Texas here.
Fair enough. With all your armadillos and skunks and
all the wildlife here.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much. We'll probably have a little wrap up chat for the end of the episode, but you can disconnect whenever you're ready, because I know it's pretty much the end of your kiddo's nap time.
It is. So. I'm going to go get him right this moment. So y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks for having me on.
Bye. Good luck.
Of course. Thank you.
I never know what I'm going to get after a nap time. Maybe it's the happiest child in the world. Maybe it is a goblin.
It might be a goblin.
Yeah. You never know.
Mm. To be fair, I can also be a goblin after my nap times.
I mean, I know exactly where she gets it, so I can't judge it.
I actually have therapy today at 4:00.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I usually don't do it on Sundays, but it just happened to work out that way. But yeah. How's life going for you otherwise? Because we didn't really talk about that.
I don't know. I mean, we're just, I just feel like my house is like, I just have a lot of things that are like in a waiting room right now. Like there's some furniture I have to get listed and sold. there's stuff that has to get moved around. So it's just a lot of like one thing waiting on the next thing, waiting on the next thing right now. So I feel like everything in my life is just kind of in this like holding pattern, which is really annoying.
Yeah, it sounds pretty annoying. Yeah.
I hate that. How's your new job?
My new job is so fucking cool.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I love my new job. I am killing it. And they love me. They love my work, obs. But I also was in a hell of a group chat this past week with some of my former coworkers, and they've made things worse at my old job. And somebody told me something that happened to them, and I was like, oh, I would have been arrested. If that had happened to me, I would have been on the news.
So timing's everything. You were supposed to be out of there. Yeah.
And then I happened to look up through the career mobility office the number of vacancies for different job titles, and there's currently 19 open line items for my old employer for the promotional title I wanted.
Wow.
So
it was really willful.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things that I'm like,
see ya.
Although I did have a minor panic attack on Friday because the like HR director called me about like transferring my PTO accruals, because it initially the expectation was that 100% of my sick accruals would transfer, which at this point was like 450-ish hours. And
I have like none.
She and I were talking, and she was like, yeah, we don't have an agreement from your old employer, so they won't transfer. And I was like, and for sick accruals in particular, you don't get paid out on those if you separate from the agency and from public service. So I was like,
is there a time frame on that?
For what?
Like for them to process that?
What do you mean?
Or do they just have to like release them?
Yeah, it's basically a matter of my old employer like filling out, like certifying that they accrued at a certain rate. So because my new employer, my old workday was 7.5 hours, my new one is 7 because I have a 1 hour lunch break instead of a half hour. So it's just like adjusting to make sure that the way that I was accruing, because I also started accruing at a higher rate in January because I hit 7 years. So it's like just making sure that that conversion is accurate. But I'm fairly certain the sick leave doesn't change. Like there's no conversion for it. And then 70 hours of vacation time was supposed to come over. And so I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, they'll just like cut me a bigger check because the rest of my vacation time was supposed to be paid out to me. And the HR lady was like, well, right, but your sick time they won't. And I was like, oh shit. Because in my head I'm like, yeah, sure, just pay me 450 hours, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no.
Wait, just kidding, don't do that.
Right. Because I was like, okay, if I can't have the time, at least I'd have like a bank to like live off of if I have to go without pay for a certain period. Wrong. So anyway, I did like all this crazy like research, for lack of a better phrase, but like kind of had to like cross-reference different things because it was like a question of like which branch of government I used to be in and which one I'm in now, and like all these other things. So it got solved. The HR lady called me back and she was like, I just called the Department of Civil Service directly and they said it's fine. And so I was like, okay. So I still had like everything typed in an email. So that, like in case I have to like justify this later, I have all the links and everything saved. But like, it was just like 3:00 on a Friday. I was like, cool, thanks.
I love the timing of this. This is great.
I know. And I did, I think last time we were talking about, because I do feel bad. So our last episode, you were talking about something, I can't remember, but I feel like I cut you short a little bit because I had to leave to go to the car dealership to like meet with them to discuss like getting a new car. So I did get my new car is the whole point. But I felt bad. Like I was like in the car driving up there because it's like an hour drive. And I was like, man, I was kind of a dick to Garrett and like cut her off. But I was like, I don't want to be late for this appointment when like I'm basically couching on them. No, but we did
2 episodes too, right?
We did do 2
episodes.
Yeah,
we were like fried. No, it was totally fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got my new car. It's a hybrid. I'm currently averaging about, well, the like average miles per gallon says 46.5.
That's awesome. I'm getting like 31 right now.
So many, even 30. If I had 31 on my old CRV, I was like pleased to death. I don't think I never hit 30.
No. In the summer, the highest I ever hit was like 28.
When I traded it in, I was back to like 28.8. But like you had mentioned, in this winter, it goes down because of the remote starting. And I was like, oh, because in the summer, the most I would ever get to was really 28.8. I think maybe once I got to like 29 point something.
Yeah.
But
you had to like really work for that.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like, that would have been like usually when we would like go to the Cape because it's a 4-hour drive on highways.
Right.
And so you're just coasting. So it was ideal for a fully gas engine. But generally, yeah. So very excited. So I got the car, I picked it up on the 21st of April. It's now the 3rd of May and I have not filled it up. I have like a quarter tank left.
I picked up mine on April 1st and it's a hybrid and I still have not filled up my gas tank.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I still have like a quarter tank. Yeah. I still have like a quarter tank left. Because I have like a 10-minute drive to work now.
I've put like 400 and almost 500 miles on it, I think, at this point.
I think that's about what I have on mine at this point also.
But yeah, I'm very excited because previously my old car, when I would fill it up, the max range was usually like 406 miles. And this one is giving me about 650 on a full tank. So the tank is a little bit bigger.
6. Yeah.
But
I'm getting about 600 miles to a tank. I think you're right. I think the gas tank is bigger. But still, I mean, I was like, when I was commuting and I had a half-hour drive, I was filling up like every 6 days.
Yes. Yeah. I was, yeah, I filled up.
It's crazy.
I mean, so with my current job, I'm putting about 200 miles a week on my car. But like, I don't really drive anywhere else, but it's still with gas being $4.50 a gallon.
If you're lucky.
Right. Not having to fill up, like only filling up like once a month is pretty choice.
Yes.
And like, yeah. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. So awesome. Probably overpaid a smidge or could have gotten them to knock down the MSRP, but I don't care.
Yeah. I walked away and I was like, I should have been more of a bitch.
I should have, because they did match, because I had a written offer from the Honda dealership for my trade. And I couldn't find the Carvana one in my email. So I was like, well, whatever, 17 is fine. But so I lost out on $1,000. Technically, I lost out on all of it at this point because they're supposed to send me a check for the 10 grand that I didn't put down, and I haven't gotten it yet. So we'll see.
It's kind of like
worst case scenario. They're like, we put it in the mail, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have it, so cut a new check, and I'll come and
cancel it, and let's write a fresh one.
So I was like very tempted, but again, like even from work, it's like a 25-minute drive to get there. So I was like, I mean, I could go on like my lunch break one day. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's just like
an hour lunch.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Yes.
But I would still rather just have it in hand and then go to the bank directly after work and deposit it, than wait for 6 months and then get a ripped envelope from the post office in a separate envelope.
Yes.
Which seems to only happen when I'm owed a check. Yes. Like it happened. What did I get? Oh, it was like I had like a travel expense when I was at my last job, and for whatever reason, they didn't process it through direct deposit because I had to submit a separate direct deposit request or something. It was like one of those things where I was like, you guys are real weird about it.
You
like,
already
why?
have this info.
So in any event, but they sent the check, and I was like followed up like 6 weeks later, and I was like, when are you going to send it? And they're like, well, we sent it on this date. And I was like, well, I don't have it. So they sent another one, and I got it like a week later. And then about 2 days after I got the actual check, I got the corner of a check in the mail from the post office. And they're like, we're so sorry about your mail. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I'm glad that no one else could have deposited this check either. Like, what the fuck?
Still, yeah.
It's like they're feeding some sort of gremlin in the post office machine. The sorting machine is like,
I moonlight.
It must eat.
That's my moonlighting job.
That tracks.
She's freaking out.
But yeah, so question, do you want to talk about the decision we made?
We probably should.
Yeah, I figured rather than leaving it to the next episode. Whoops. So folks, we hope that you really enjoyed today's episode. We sure did. We had a great time.
Yeah.
And
nice change of pace too.
Yeah. And a really very dynamic person. So if you're in Texas, I would if I was in Texas, I would absolutely be hitting up Katie if I didn't already have a therapist who understood ADHD. But we have decided, as you know, Garrett is expecting. As you also know, I am recently married, and I had some pretty intense surgery this year. I've also changed. Yeah, I've also changed my job, which is also, by virtue of the type of job it is, has kind of opened up some other opportunities down the line. And so we have decided that we are going to stop producing this podcast after this season, which means next episode, episode 130, will be our last episode. There's, of course, a chance that we'll revive it in the future. But for right now, it just feels like we both have a lot going on. And as we kind of alluded to when we were speaking with Katie earlier, it's a lot to produce a podcast, just from a research perspective, but also from recording and making the time to record. And as, making the time to edit and upload and deal with all of the background things that we have to deal with. And, if this had turned into something that could have completely replaced our day jobs, obviously we would be doing it still. But
yeah, on top of maintaining full-time careers and
right,
all of our other responsibilities, it's a lot.
And it is a lot. And it's not that we don't love it. It's just that, the reality of life has made it very clear that we can't continue to put out quality content for you all while still living our lives the way that they are. And since this podcast does not produce enough income to cover health insurance plans for us, we have to let it go, basically. So we are going to be letting it go. That also means that our Patreon will be shut down and deactivated after July. That's when episode 130 will come out July 5th. So for the month of July, that'll be the last month that you'll be able to access any of our content on Patreon. And then the page will be archived. The episodes themselves on your regular podcast feed will still exist. They just won't be updated. So you will, in all likelihood, won't be recommended to listen to this episode or to listen to our show or to subscribe because there's no new content coming out, which is completely fine. But it should still be there for what it's worth. So you can always refer back to those episodes and refer back to the show notes to the extent that you want any resources or anything that are mentioned therein. But we'll also be shutting down our website because it's expensive and there's no reason to have it if we're not going to be doing a show. But all in all, I mean, at least for me, I'm very grateful that you wanted to do this with me, because I definitely wouldn't have stuck with it as long if it was just me.
I mean, we've learned a ton from it. I think it's been really good for our experience in dealing with ADHD through a lot of really different phases of our lives as we've been working on this podcast. And I'm really proud of it. I think we've done a really good job.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Zero regrets.
Yeah, I agree. I think there really isn't. I haven't seen anything else similar out there. And so I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to make something that, you know, from what we've heard anyway, from people who like us, it's offered like really helpful information. And, you know, at the very least, it's given us, and me in particular, I think, a chance to really process what this is, what ADHD is, and how it actually does affect me or not affect me in certain ways.
And the removal of the shame, because we have a better understanding of what it really means to have that diagnosis. And then in turn, like also, you know, when you have friends who have kids that are diagnosed, or, you know, somebody who's late diagnosed, like you have so much more to offer when you like really know about it. So yeah, I think that like it's helped me remove a lot of the stigma that I like was still carrying, even though, like, you know, I'm logically, I know these things, you know, like we were saying earlier in the episode, it's like you still carry some of that, like, well, how come I just suck at this?
Yeah.
So I think the like, for me personally, the podcast has helped with that tremendously. Like, I'm just so much nicer to myself now than I was prior.
Yeah, I think I always liked myself. And I always knew I was like a little bit weird or like off center or whatever. But I think like what we've learned has really helped me give permission to myself to like be who I am and
lean in.
You know,
lean into the weird.
Like, you know, hang signs like what would Dolly do, and you know, quotes from like William Lloyd Garrison in my office that say things like, if the law requires you to be an agent of injustice to another, then I say break the law. That's hanging in my office at work. But it's those types of things where it's like, no, but I really believe this, and I don't think that there's anything wrong. And I have a drag queen calendar on my office wall, and my new boss loves it and took a picture of it.
I love that.
So it's the sort of thing where I think, you know, so often we see too, like, you know, the universe will put you on the path that you're supposed to be on, or will put you in the path of other people that you're supposed to meet or whatever. And while of course that was true for us, I think it's also has doing the show has made it so that I am more open to what path my ADHD like puts me on and like directs me towards, you know. Like, I really love the idea of starting my own seeds in my basement, in my little greenhouse. They all die. So will I do that next year? Probably, because I'll get antsy in January and February, and then they'll all die before it's time to go outside.
That's my favorite part of gardening, though, is like, you know, like there's that quote, something about, it's like this fundamental belief in the future, but it also is like, it's so forgiving, because it's just like, oh, I'll just try it again. I have some stuff that really doesn't look good, and I'm like, I'll just throw seeds right in the ground. I'll just direct seed, and if it works, I keep joking with the farmer that's here, it's like survival of the fittest. So like, if we're gonna all give it a shot, and if you can do it, you can do it, and if not, hey, that's fine. We'll try again next year. And it is what it is.
That's pretty much what I ended up doing when I started getting my garden beds ready. I just like threw a bunch of onion seeds to where all my onions are growing. And I have some that have overwintered, which I'm pretty jazzed about.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And then like did the same with my lettuce. I was like, well, obviously, like, who cares? Because because also lettuce isn't like deranged expensive at the moment.
Right.
But
and you get like a bazillion seeds per pack. So
right. Which also like, what am I supposed? It's like with carrots. I'm like, I'm one at a time. No, I actually did. So we had some old carrots in our fridge and I was like cutting them up to use in something. And then like they were old. So like the heads had some sprouts coming out them. And I was like, I'm gonna put these in the dirt.
Yeah. And that's all.
So my carrot sprouts are doing great.
But it is a really good metaphor for like ADHD, which, you know, like I've said, at this stage in life, this season of life that I'm in, there is no point in trying to manage my attention span. And we were even joking about like doing an episode about like that online series where it's what I've been putting off and like how long it actually took me to do. And I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, well, what would I use for that? And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not putting things off. I just like literally don't have the time to do anything. So this isn't even by choice.
So potentially a preview for our last episode, but Garrett mentioned that as a topic idea. And I was like, I knew exactly what it was that I would have to do. And it was putting away my goddamn laundry. Because at this point, I am single-handedly keeping the laundry basket industry afloat with how many laundry baskets exist in my house. And it's just like, and again, like part of it is I have a block of like, why would I put away clothing that doesn't fit me anymore or isn't going to fit me or whatever? There's like that issue to it. Fine. But also it still has to go away. There's no reason that you can't just sort into a go away pile and then the rest into like what drawer they have to go into. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, I just need to get it done and like figure out how I'm going to organize it going forward. And I just need to do it. And I just have to like set a timer and figure out, it's not going to be today because I have therapy in a couple hours, but
but I think like this before we did this, and also I think at a stage in my life where my anxiety was less managed, I would be in this loop of just being so mad at myself and putting all this pressure on myself and like running myself ragged for like something that like I really can do on another day. Like I don't have to fit it in today when I have 10,000 other things going on. And not like beating myself up about it. So, and some of that is also becoming a mom. This like it's a real like rude awakening. Like, oh, I don't control shit. Like,
yeah.
Why? And we've talked about that a lot, like controlling the controllables. And I think part of becoming a mom is like, oh, all these things that I thought are kind of in my control are not. So I think like there's been a big journey of me just really letting go of a lot, and it is very freeing to not be forcing myself to do things and holding myself to a standard that no one else is holding me to but me, and also accepting that like my brain does work different, but it's fine.
Right.
It's not a wrong brain, it's just a different brain. So I think that's been a huge source of growth for me in the last few years while we've been doing this.
For sure. And I think to the shame point, I think it has, because we've talked about it before, of course, but the idea that having an ADHD diagnosis is trendy. And I think I'm very grateful that we've been able to do this show while that discourse is going on, because it's really, I think, almost like provided authorization to take up space with my ADHD. Like, this is just how my brain works. It's fine. And I mean, you've talked about it before, but like the way before you had a child, the way you would clean on like a Saturday or Sunday is like, you would just like let it flow and throw on some music, and like how you cleaned is how you clean, but it wasn't a regimented, like, top to bottom, one room at a time. It was just how it went. And that's exactly what I did yesterday when I forgot to eat because I was in the yard all day.
That also happens, by the way. But that's a side effect of that.
Yeah, that did happen. But it wasn't great. But I was like in the backyard. I had gotten all these starter plants from the store because of my dead ones, and was like putting them in the beds and figuring out how I wanted them to be situated and all that stuff. And then I had also picked up some dahlia tubers from a farmer out in like Dwaynesburg or something. And so I was like getting those situated, and I had to come back out front from the backyard to like do something. I specifically came out front to pick up, because I got a lilac bush to put in this corner of our backyard, to get that so that I could put it in the ground. And instead, what I did was I started digging out our front path so that I could lay some shale or like bluestone pavers that were like probably used as a front path by the former owner, but then like pushed aside and thrown into the garden. So I started doing that for a couple hours. And that's when I realized I hadn't eaten and was getting kind of lightheaded and woozy.
And then you turn around and you're like, oh, there's the lilac.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then it was like, I also didn't at any point, even from putting the plants in the ground, I didn't wear gardening gloves. So at that point, I was just covered in filth. My nails were completely black. And so then I was like, well, I might as well finish it because I'm already dirty. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually like, I need some, like, I'm going to be like Julia Roberts in Steel Magnolias soon if I don't eat something.
I hope you were wearing your walnut necklace so that you only eat the appropriate amount.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like that is very, especially when you do a lot of masking, which we do and don't realize we're doing.
Yes.
It's almost like I feel like it's like opening the windows after you've been sick, or when it's like stuffy in a room, and it's like cleaning out your brain a little bit. Like, it's just good to like let your brain have that time where it's like free. Like,
right.
Run like the wind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, you know, I haven't finished the walkway, of course, but yeah, maybe I'll do that after we record, but who knows? Probably not. And,
if not, it can wait a couple days.
Yeah. I mean, I need more stones anyway. So it's like, whatever. But again, I think, you know, there's certainly a type of magic in, allowing your ADHD to take up space, and but you know, as a result, allowing yourself to take up space. And you know, it's very like chicken and egg kind of conversation. Like, is it just that we've been kind of unpacking ADHD, or is it that there's like this general discourse, you know, at least in the circles that we're in, leaning into like matriarchal society and dynamics that is fostering the idea that like we're allowed to take up space as we are, and we don't have to fit a mold or look a certain way or whatever. So I, you know, who knows, but either way, I think this podcast has been, at least for me, very helpful. Hopefully our listeners think so too.
The two of us, like, well, we've done great.
We fixed a lot on our backs.
Yes.
Or just Ron Swanson with that permit.
It would also track. I mean, you know, either way, whatever.
Yeah. So yes, the next episode will be our last episode of this show. And you've all been wonderful. We love you. And to the extent that our social media handles exist, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. I don't really want to make a Threads profile for myself. I like the one that's for the podcast. I've got that algorithm set, and I don't want to have to rebuild it. So
fair.
Yeah, we'll see. But to the extent that they weren't already just run by me anyway, they'll also for sure just be me now. So you can continue to follow us. You can continue to interact. It's not like that's necessarily going anywhere. But also if it does go somewhere, don't panic. It's just because I stopped using it. Yeah, and we're tired. And we did get a notification recently that Patreon was switching to like make it more of like a network, and there's like
it's too many social medias.
Some sort of video posting. Like,
why can't we have these
videos?
Like choices for cell phone carriers instead of social media platforms?
I don't know, but like I was reading that email and I was like, I first of all don't understand what you're trying to tell me. Second of all, shan't be learning another platform to post to in addition to everything else.
What you already have.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Allbirds announced that they're going to start doing AI instead of shoes.
What?
Yeah. You know the Allbirds shoe company?
Yeah.
They're not going to be shoes anymore. They're going to be an AI company now. Which really makes sense, right? I can see how those two things are related.
Is it because all birds aren't real?
Yes.
Just like AI.
They're like, well, we don't want to do shoes anymore, but you know what?
All birds are robots, so we might as well be a robot too.
Yes. I think that's what their press conference was.
Well, in that case, it makes perfect sense.
Yes.
So, well done, all birds. Man, that sucks.
I was also annoyed because they're like really comfy sneakers.
They are, but I prefer Kizik's. Because also Kizik's are like designed to be slip-ons.
Maybe it was just my ghost.
Oh, I have a cat taking a dump right now, so.
Oh, maybe that's what I was hearing was the...
Yes.
I thought it was him scratching at the door.
Nope. It's my cat scratching at the side of the litter box.
I love that. That's so great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
My charmed life.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like mine is much more. I did laugh pretty hard when I heard the rooster because I was like, is that my rooster? Like, did I hear that outside or did I hear it in my headphones? But then I didn't want to mention it because I was like, maybe I was the only person that heard it. You would really be the only person to be able to comment on it because
that's true.
It would be the only time when we really know what the source was.
Yeah, and
wasn't
I couldn't.
You, at least.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't me, and then I couldn't tell if either of your boxes lit up at that moment, so that I had to ask.
Yeah, no, I was glad you did because I was like, "Was that mine?"
I also wasn't sure how close your studio is to where the chickens live. Like, I didn't know if you were towards the front of your house or the back. So.
You know, I am in the front, but the other day I could hear the rooster like in my bedroom, which is also in the front of the house. So yeah, it was one of those. That's why I was like, oh, I mean, that really could be mine. I don't know if it was mine.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, what ADHD?
I don't know. No. Also, I was gonna mention it to when Katie was here, but she was talking about all the different animals that she's got in her vicinity, and all I could think was about the conversation I had with my other cousin about female golden retrievers and how now the recommendation is that you never spay your female golden retriever because of the incidence of cancers, I guess.
I thought for males, the risk of cancer.
No, apparently only for female golden retrievers. And for male golden retrievers, they don't recommend neutering until they're at least like 18 months to 2 years old.
That I knew. I knew that they had bumped the age up. They wanted you to do it when they were older.
Yeah.
Almost like through puberty. It has something to do with like their bones or something.
Yeah, something. And I was like, well, that's good for them. But I will be spaying. If we get a female golden retriever, that dog will be spayed. Like, I'm not managing
her to.
Yeah, like our golden
myself to
our golden was 10 when she passed away, probably from a cancer that like caused a stroke or something. But the idea of having to manage 10 years of dog periods.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to manage my own.
Maybe I'll make it to the 18-month to 2-year mark. If it's a matter of like, well, it only lasts for a couple days and it's twice a year fine. I can deal, I suppose. For as long as I know it's like 2 years and you're out. Cause like, it's also
Right.
like, it doesn't start right away. So it's like from the point it starts, like whatever. But, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. So I was like,
I mean, I learned a lot about weasels this week that I wasn't ever planning on knowing. Did you know a group of weasels can be called a boogle?
a boogle.
Yeah. And apparently they're
like
in
something
groups.
Your child has said.
Yeah. Or a confusion. They can also.
I was like, there was some other word that's weird.
Yeah.
Like what's the one for a business of penguins or something?
I don't know. I like that though, because they look like they're in little suits.
I don't think it's penguins, but it should be. Yeah, a group of ferrets is called a business.
That's great.
I guess they kind of look like they're wearing suits too.
Yeah.
But like the old timey ones where they'd have like the straight across, like not Peaky Blind. I guess Peaky Blinders, but I was thinking of Boardwalk Empire where like their shirt collars were like a separate
like super
thing.
starchy. Yeah. Like they had to like put it on.
Yeah. Like it was a neck tie that like tied your shirt closed.
When you look at weasels, they're like absolutely adorable. Mm-hmm. So it's also like, you're telling me that something this fucking cute with these little round ears is deadly and drinks blood? It's wild. Mm-hmm. They also said one of the ways to tell if it was a weasel is that they leave they're like smelly. And then all I could think about is people who have like free range ferrets. Smelly.
Was it free range ferrets from the person that we used to work with?
Ferrets and lizards. Both. Which I was convinced she also had in her desk.
Maybe that's why she was spraying the Axe body spray
to cover up the ferret smell.
2 p.m.
There's so much lore. And like when I hire new people, I always have to be like, it's kind of a weird place to work. There's a lot of lore.
One time we got an email from the state police telling us to stop flushing paper towels in the urinals.
Yes. There was also a phantom pooper.
There was.
That was pooping on the floor.
Yeah, I meant to actually, I haven't brought my phone and with me to the bathroom, or when I have, I've forgotten, but the stalls at my new work, they have like the lip, so there's no gap. Yeah, pretty legit. They don't automatically flush though, but whatever.
Do you have a full-length mirror in the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. But there is a light that's out and doesn't work apparently. So, there's downsides, but there is no gap in the doors. So I thought of you instantly.
We currently have, we used to have 2 soap dispensers. Mm-hmm. Now we have 2, but then one of them is ripped off because it's broken. But they left like the carcass there, and then they put another one right next to it. So that's how we're doing.
That is the lawn art graveyard version of building repairs.
Yeah.
Like the person who did that also has a rusted out lawnmower in their front yard.
Yes. And like a 40-year-old lawn flamingo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the clamshell Mary.
Yeah. Yes.
Mary on a half shell or whatever it is. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So I feel like we're at least ending the pod for all good reasons.
I think so.
Only because good things have happened,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's and there will always be developments in ADHD. Hopefully we've, provided you guys with some resources or, just like some background information. So at least if there is an update or a change to anything when it comes to ADHD or autism, or women's health, that what to look for in research and how to review a report or a study that comes out that's being referred to, and what that report actually says, and how to look at, who funded the report and things like that. So that at the very least, you'll now have the the skills and discernment to really determine if what's being said is accurate, if what's being said should be applied to you, or if what's being said is, just a weird kidnapping study in Spain related to saffron. So,
yeah,
you never know.
And only on men.
Right. Or children who are wards of the state and don't have parents to consent.
Yes.
Things like that.
Because that's kind of the track record.
Yeah. But now you'll have that resource. And
very true.
Again, as this comes out, hopefully in July, they'll have a decision on that new ADHD medication. And, for those of you who are averse to stimulants or who are not doing well with stimulant medication or the other medications that you've tried to manage your ADHD, maybe it'll provide you with some answers.
And hopefully by that point, we won't all have been sent to one of RFK's autism camps.
Well,
your cat might be, but
yeah. She is pretty mad that she's trapped in the space with her smell at this point.
You're like, aren't we all? She literally sounds like she's going, hello.
Yeah. She doesn't meow very often, but when she does, it's very loud, which is remarkable because she's so small. But yeah, I came home Friday afternoon after work and walked into the office because PK was in here on his computer, and Sophie had just let her rip and didn't cover it up. And I was like, what the fuck? It looked like the pile of poo that they would sell at Spencer's in the 90s. Like,
how kind of her.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Soph, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was super rude.
Meanwhile, PK's like, you think it's rude.
He was like, I died, Katie. I died just now. Pretty much. I think he used an entire bottle of Febreze spray to cover it up. The little air filter that's next to the litter box was fighting for its life.
Oh my God. That's really funny.
Yeah.
It's like...
So we will see you guys in 2 weeks for our very last episode. We'll record it before this comes out, so don't bother sending us anything about it because the decision has already been made. But
made fairly quickly too.
I mean, yeah.
We're both like, you know what? We're tired.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation was pretty much like, hey, we both pretty much said like, I won't be mad if you say you don't want to do this anymore.
Look, I won't tell anybody you said this, but
PK did ask me what if he and your spouse took over the podcast and it got like world famous and they had to go on like tours and stuff.
They'd
like,
be
what would
men. Fuck both of you.
He was like, would you be really mad? And I was like, I mean, not if you're paying for everything, but I would have questions.
Also, if we don't have the time to do it, why do you?
Yeah. But I mean, like, I think his thought was like, what if it like suddenly takes off and it's like a super famous podcast that has tours and da-da-da-da. I was like, well, what if you suck my dick?
Yeah. Yeah. What if?
Pretty much.
Hey, thanks for that. Thanks for that thought.
You're welcome.
My daughter recently was sick, and I said to my spouse, because every time she gets sick, ever since she was like a little baby, it just like triggers this like a developmental change in her. So it usually causes like a couple bumpy weeks with behavior while she's like going through whatever change that has spurred.
Right.
And we just got through this particularly rough patch where we both got sick, and I was like, hey, you know what this means? It means now she's going to be like the worst for a couple weeks. And he was like, you didn't have to share that thought. You could have just like had that thought and kept it and not shared it. I was like, yeah, I guess I could have.
Could have, but that would be letting the patriarchy win. So,
you know, misery loves company. I got to tell you when I have an intrusive thought. So,
the next time he says that to you after you share a thought, you could say, oh, I didn't realize you were one of the men who wanted women to be seen and not heard.
Sometimes they do say things like that and he gets really mad.
Me
but
too.
I always do it.
Worth it.
Yes. Or I'll go, oh yeah. I take a really patronizing tone. It's really healthy.
Cute. Yeah. I bet he loves it.
He does. He really does.
But yeah, so until next week, if you are on those dating apps, change all your pictures to pictures of dogs and only respond in woofs and barks.
Woofs, yeah.
Because that's the only way you're going to find your soulmate.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Also that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Lean into your weird.
Spoke over you. You'd think after 4 years of podcasting, we'd be better at not talking over each other.
No, and then I finally was like, and I'm going to do this send off right because the bar is ankle high. And then we fucked it up. Right down to our last episodes.
Going out with a fizzle.
A whimper.
Like a ferret whimper.
Well, now I'm convinced they do more than whimper if weasels are drinking blood.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's like a Masonic ritual.
Can you imagine if they came out in costumes and they had a secret handshake and that's how they ate chicken butt?
Or all people who are members of the Freemasons are just like 50 ferrets in a human suit.
Yeah. It's like when people will tweet like, if Trump unzipped his human skin and just turned out to be a lizard, like all of this would make a lot more sense. Kind of like that. Maybe he's just a ferret.
I think when he unzips his human suit, it's just going to be like a puddle of pus. Yeah.
Catherine.
How is syphilis better? Syphilis also gives you pustules.
Gangrenous flappy doodles underneath all that.
I'm certain that they're exposed. Yeah. I don't know why the gangrene is not working faster, but it should, because there's like 4 different types of gangrene, as we know. And evidently he needs the extra version.
The extra version. Clots and prayers. Maybe
for
by the
all
time
of them,
these air, he'll be dead.
Yeah. Then we'll just have a couch fucker as president.
That almost seems preferable. Neither of it's good, but
at least we'll be getting laughed at on the international stage because the president is a couch fucker and not because the president is a child rapist.
Fair.
That is an improvement.
That's true.
Objectively.
Yeah. But that's one of those, the bar's ankle high. Like,
oh yeah.
There's no good choices here. Only bad ones. So
yeah. So take care, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.